The New Galactic Era, Space Voyages. Science fiction novel by Mariia Obydenna. Chapter 3. The Purple Dwarfs' Invasion. Being on the red Martian soil, Roland was resting in a glass office on the top floor of a brand-new needle-like skyscraper. Before him, an incredibly beautiful view of Dadelia Planum opened. The yellow plain lies south of the Arja Mons Mount, with numerous frozen-in-time lava flows and small craters of bizarre shapes, striking for their rich colors. In this place, time slows down. You can walk on the plateau. The rainy season turns it into an orange-colored mirror. Looking at the plateau, Roland began to immerse himself in memories. He remembered how, as a child, his grandmother told the story of the ancient planet Earth and of people's ideas about the solar system. In her stories, great-grandfathers believed in a universe with borders, with the planet Earth at its center. They considered our planet flat, like a tabletop, and the stars and the sky to be closer than the moon and the sun are to Earth. How Roland laughed when he imagined that the planet Earth had a fixed position in space, and the planets and stars moved around it. "I have some bad news for you, Roland," said Tet, flying into the glass office. "What?" Roland asked. "Is the candy printer not working again?" The food of the age of biocrits differs from all previous periods. In the new age, people do not buy food, but print it on food processing printers. Humans get all the necessary elements by consuming delicious artificial products. You can print absolutely everything: cookies, meat, and even fruits and vegetables. For a person of the new era, it is difficult to imagine that Earthlings spent money on food to stay alive. In antiquity, most people labored primarily to secure food for themselves and their families. "No, worse," Tet said sadly. "Well, what do you have this time?" A message came from the protective barrier of the solar system that they were attacked by aliens, the Purple Dwarfs. These monsters are everywhere. They attacked like locusts. They have covered the protective barrier. It is still unfinished. The military desperately needs our help, explained Tet. How could the base patrol commanders not notice these monsters and let them through the protective barrier? Roland wondered. Our command said that at first the impression was that a mass of bark matter had invaded the solar system. Huge but invisible. They didn't immediately realize that these were purple dwarfs, aliens from the Andromeda constellation. Strange. Roland, this situation has been classified as a Level 1 threat. Tet was horrified. "How are you doing now?" Roland asked. "The situation is critical," Tet answered. "For the past 7 Earth days, the dwarves have been attacking. A tactical mission has been initiated to neutralize the threat from Mars. Our military will not have time to reach the solar system's borders. The purple dwarfs can damage the protective barrier. We must not waste time." "Hello, Roland. I have news for you. Our commanders haven't had time to finish building the protective barrier yet and accidentally let alien monsters into the solar system," Elisa announced as she entered the glass office. "Thank you, honey. But I already know the bad news. Treat yourself some Martian sweets. You won't find them anywhere else. They're the tastiest in the solar system." "Yes, the sweets are really the best, but the news is very bad. No one is safe from attacks by alien life," replied a worried Elisa, a scientist at a military laboratory. "We live in a world of monsters that destroy everything around. Our commanders have activated a super-strong titanium dome at the borders, but it won't last long," Tech reported. "Roland, have you ever seen these monsters?" Elisa asked. "No, I haven't," Roland replied. "I don't know whether it's a pity or a blessing, but the Jupiter military that has seen them say their presence is bone-chilling. They're real monsters. Honestly, they're just plain scary to look at." "Hello, Roland. The protective barrier is unfinished. We don't have enough resources to ensure perimeter protection, The intergalactic gate hasn't been installed yet, and some of the biocrits haven't been connected to the general intergalactic network. Laporte entered the glass office. Thank you, Laporte. We were discussing this news with Elisa and Tet. The biocrit platforms are in danger, and they are worried that the constant attacks of purple dwarfs pose a significant threat to the stability of the unfinished colony, Tet explained. Of course, we will direct the Border Command and hope to counter the invasion by these monsters. We must hurry up. Their cognitive system is underdeveloped compared to the human brain, but they cannot be underestimated. Their impact is profound, explained Elisa. Many warships have perished underestimating the danger of dwarfs and extraterrestrial life to Earthlings. And now a little bit from the Encyclopedia of Alien Species, Tet joked. OS, please give me information about the purple dwarfs from the Andromeda constellation.
Purple dwarfs are interstellar locusts that live in Andromeda. They inhabited a place near the star Alpheratz. This is the brightest Mercury-manganese star, the brightness of which is 200 times greater than the brightness of the Sun. In this territory, a large number of purple dwarf sets exist. The appearance of the first alien flocks is difficult to detect. There are about 30 varieties of purple dwarfs. They can move in intergalactic space and remain unnoticed by humans. Earthlings know little about this type of alien. A feature of their biological species is the high content of manganese. No, General Gartt replied. I'd rather tell you about these purple monsters. You won't find such information in any space encyclopedia. Purple dwarfs are biological creatures with an underdeveloped brain. They don't need air. Unlike people, they live in a vacuum in open space without any special equipment. They travel on small interstellar boats that resemble silver triangles. I've seen these monsters, and I can say that they are scary. I got scared when I witnessed them personally. The brains of helium, mercury, and manganese can influence the devices of intergalactic ships and control monitors. New information has arrived from the outskirts of the solar system, Tet reported. The command has once again scanned the alien's consciousness. There are no doubts left. This is a type of mercury-manganese dwarf. No contact is possible. The only way is to destroy these monsters. There is no way to combat purple dwarfs except by destroying them, General Gartt confirmed. Their appearance and movement are difficult to predict, although they are trying to do this with the help of space-based long-range monitoring radars, General Gartt continued. The aliens can be exposed to radiation from unmanned aerial vehicles, with the help of which our military will destroy them at the borders in a relatively short time. The most effective way to combat dwarfs is to eliminate them at an early stage of reproduction before they begin to attack settlements of intelligent people and biocrits. If this moment is missed, it will be impossible to avoid significant destruction. We have sent a sufficient amount of chemically active substance to the borders to neutralize the aliens and protect the settlements of people from attacks, Elisa reported. Guys, remember, alien life is very dangerous to humans and chemical weapons against them also. For a long time, there may be no signs, but then fatigue gradually increases. Weakness, drowsiness, headache, apathy, and emotional instability emerge. Speech may be impaired, hands and eyelids may tremble, and in severe cases, legs and the whole body may go numb. Weapons against aliens can affect the nervous system and even cause madness in human beings, Gartt explained. We need to hurry so that too many dwarfs don't gather in one place and our military can destroy them, Elisa said. I completely agree with you, since interstellar dwarves reproduce rapidly. The duration of their attacks remains uncertain, Roland said. Usually, purple dwarfs cause minor damage to human space settlements, but if there are not enough resources for further existence and reproduction, they gather in huge flocks and attack other civilizations. As their number increases, purple dwarfs change their behavior from silent observation to aggressive attack. Their color and size change from orange-pink to purple. These life forms, eerie creatures, can exist in plasma or dust rings surrounding stars. These creatures emerge as a direct consequence of thermonuclear processes. The lifespan of purple dwarfs is usually about 300 Earth years. Helium, mercury, manganese, and metals with increased radioactivity are the basis of their biological species. They have developed intelligence and can influence the devices designed by Earthlings. Thermonuclear reactions give rise to creatures capable of thinking. They have clear actions directed against humans and any spacecraft that enters their territory of existence.
That night, through the glass dome of his office on the top floor a skyscraper, Roland gazed up at beautiful Andromeda, a constellation that can be seen with the naked eye from the solar system. Andromeda is the closest spiral galaxy to the Milky Way. It is the most distant object in the night sky visible to the naked eye from Earth. Andromeda contains 1 trillion stars, and about 100 can be seen from Earth and Mars. The Milky Way galaxy has about 400 billion stars. With vast experience in interstellar galactic expeditions, Roland has rarely seen aliens. One of the basic rules of the military facility of the solar system is not to communicate with extraterrestrial civilizations. Over 4 centuries on Earth, thousands of biocrits have died from attacks by aliens that appear suddenly from different corners of the boundless universe. "Roland, my friend," came the voice of General Gartt, "the scientists beg you not to damage the unique protective barrier while it is still under construction." "Yes, we will try, but it will be very difficult," Roland replied instantly. "Phase 1 of the Purple Beast's neutralization protocol is in motion. Deployment has started." The unfinished military complex on the borders of the solar system resembled a monument to a vanished civilization more than a high-tech structure. Automatic life support systems worked perfectly, not a single failure. The energy to meet the military complex's needs on the borders was drawn from the surrounding space. Special converters were responsible for this. "The operation to destroy the dwarfs will last 5 Earth days," Roland reported. "OZ, please provide me with information about the history of the name of the constellation." In a metallic voice, the information assistant reported, "Once Cassiopeia, the wife of the Ethiopian king Cepheus, boasted to the sea Nereids that she and her daughter Andromeda were more beautiful than even the goddess Hera herself. The daughters of Nereus, the favorites of the god of the seas Poseidon, were angry and asked their powerful patron to punish Cassiopeia. Poseidon flooded the land of Ethiopia and sent a sea monster in the form of a whale to devastate the country and destroy its people. Frightened, Cepheus and Cassiopeia turned to the oracle of the sanctuary of Zeus Ammon for help, and he advised them to sacrifice Andromeda. This was the only path to safeguard their homeland and protect their people. Andromeda was chained to a rock, awaiting her tragic fate. And at that time, Perseus, the son of Zeus, was flying over Ethiopia on the winged horse Pegasus. He was returning home after defeating the terrible Medusa Gorgon, from whose gaze everything turned to stone. Medusa's head was in Perseus's bag. Seeing the beauty chained to a rock, Perseus rushed to protect her from the monster approaching from the depths of the sea. Perseus thrust his sword into Cetus 3 times, but the whale did not weaken. On the contrary, it grew stronger and destroyed the hero. Tired, Perseus snatched Medusa's head from the bag and showed it to Cetus. He instantly turned to stone, turning into an island. Perseus freed the beautiful captive from his bonds. The legend of the constellation Andromeda reached the sky. The legend says the gods raised all the heroes of the myth into the sky for people to know, turning them into constellations. On ancient maps, Cassiopeia is depicted to the north of Andromeda. A little further away is Cepheus, and at Andromeda's feet is her liberator Perseus. Further behind the constellations of Aries and Pisces, Cetus has spread out his clumsy torso. And the brilliant Andromeda has been shining for millennia, although it has been tried to be destroyed or suppressed more than once. Scientists wanted to remove the pagan names of the constellations and proposed naming Andromeda after the Holy Sepulchre and Perseus after the constellation of St. Paul, but this never happened. "Thanks, OZ. You've tired me out with these constellation legends," Roland muttered. "Roland," Elisa said, If we add to the 3 brightest stars the faint stars scattered haphazardly throughout the constellation, one must exercise considerable imagination to visualize this constellation as portrayed in ancient astronomical texts as a beautiful young girl with her arms outstretched as if waiting for someone to help her. Suddenly, the intercom rang. Tet and Elisa appeared on the screen. "How are you?" asked Tet. "Elisa and I are unaware of what had happened." "Don't worry. The command from the solar system's borders reported that everything is fine. The number of these manganese monsters has decreased significantly, and the platforms are saved, thanks to you. Our charges on the borders are safe from the terrible creatures." "How much more time is needed to build the protective barrier?" came the voice of General Gartt. "Because the damage is minor, it will take another Earth year. Everything will be completed, and the protective net will be installed in time." "You did an excellent job," Gartt thanked him. "But remember, the purple monster attacks may recur, and the completion of the barrier will be slowed down by the fact that the military facility has to spend half of all its resources on preventing extraterrestrial influence." Mission accomplished. Despite the incredible beauty of Mars, Roland began to remember how the breeze on Earth sways green leaves, how roses in a garden by the Pacific Ocean amaze with all the colors and shades of the rainbow, pink, white, red, and blue. The wind from the ocean brings a pleasant coolness. Beauty is subjective. Roland remembers the magical places on Earth created by nature itself. Beauty surrounds us, and to overlook it is no longer possible.